I'm Kaliel.
I'm Ellie.
I'm Tate.
And I'm Tessa.
And this is our talk on how COVID impacted our psychological health. The World Health Organization defines mental health as a state of mental well-being that allows individuals to effectively cope as well as work well and contribute to the community. In 2021, we started to see an increase in depression and anxiety in adults as the COVID-19 pandemic continued to spread. Anxiety and depression greatly impact our mental well-being and may affect other aspects of our lives. While these symptoms may be temporary to some, concerns about mental health remain elevated 3 years later in 2024. Worrying about your mental health and all of the uncertainty around coronavirus negatively impacts our mental health. Quarantine also placed a heavy burden on many people's lives as the isolation only contributes to the stress, anxiety, and depression. Lastly, many people worried about the education and occupational status as the virus hit pandemic levels, exacerbating the mental health concerns previously mentioned.
So I will be talking about why mental health matters. So mental health is an important part of our overall well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and handle everyday life. When someone has good mental health, they can manage stress, build strong relationships, and enjoy life more. But when mental health starts to decline, it can become hard to do simple things like going to school, working, or spending time with others. Many people suffer from mental health problems like anxiety, depression, or extreme stress. These issues are very common, especially among teenagers and young adults. Social media, school pressure, and family problems can make things even harder. Sadly, many people are afraid to talk about their struggles because they are embarrassed or think others won't care. Not talking about mental health can lead to serious problems. In some cases, it can even lead to self-harm or suicide. That's why it's so important to speak openly and support people who are going through tough times. The good news is that mental health problems can be treated. Talking to a counselor, getting support from friends and family, or using healthy habits like exercise and rest can all help. The first step is being willing to talk about it and ask for help. In conclusion, mental health matters just as much as physical health. The more we talk about it, the more we help others feel less alone. It's okay to not be okay. What matters most is getting support and taking care of ourselves and each other.
The decline of psychological health is a growing issue, but there are real ways we can start to address it. First, we should expand school-based mental health services. Schools are where kids spend the most of their time, so having access to counselors and psychologists right there makes support easy and stigma-free. Early help can prevent bigger problems later, and students who get support tend to perform better in class and in life. Second, we need to mandate mental health education in K-12 schools. Teaching students how to manage emotions, handle stress, and recognize mental health issues builds lifelong skills. But this solution comes with debate. Some argue schools are already overwhelmed with academic requirements and that mental health topics should be handled by families or professionals, not teachers. And sure, schools are stretched, but mental health already affects learning. Ignoring it does not solve anything. We can ease concerns by making the curriculum age appropriate, giving parents some choice, and training teachers as well. The truth is, mental health education isn't a distraction, it's a preparation for life. Both solutions, school services and education, focus on access, prevention, and reducing stigma, and that's exactly what we need.
Now we're going to look into 3 major impacts COVID had on individuals and society. First, we saw that it had a huge rise in anxiety and depression. Lockdowns, fear of illness, and financial issues created the perfect storm for mental distress. Many people felt isolated, overwhelmed, and hopeless. In fact, studies show that symptoms of anxiety and depression more than tripled in some populations during the pandemic. Second, there was a major strain on mental health services. Therapists and support centers were overwhelmed with demand. While telehealth became more common, not everyone had access to it. This meant that a lot of people went without the help they needed when they needed it most. And third, the impact on youth and students was especially serious. With schools shut down, many young people struggled with motivation, loneliness, and mental health challenges. Remote learning also meant fewer social connections and limited access to school counselors or support systems.
Thank you guys. This has been our talk about the decline of psychological health.